Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. Will you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Okay, welcome everyone to our council meeting tonight. Will you call the roll, please?
Farmer?
Here.
Henning?
Here.
Gorman?
Here.
Merkel?
Here.
Kelly? Here. Bachman?
Here.
And Stevens.
Here. And the first item on our agenda is the clerk's report. Will you read the...
Okay.
Please.
You have before you the council meeting minutes of October 3rd, 2024.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve the report as written by Mr. Gorman, second by Mr. Henning. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Let the record show that that passed unanimously. I feel like I'm really loud.
You're excellent.
Thank you. Right. We have no old business to discuss tonight. We do have two items of new business, and the first is an ordinance. Will you read the ordinance, please?
Ordinance O-10-24-20, an ordinance to approve current replacement pages to the Clayton Codified Ordinances.
This is something we do every year, right? Move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve the ordinance as written by Mr. Henning, second by Ms. Kelly. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, let the record show that that passed unanimously, and that was the first of two readings. And the second piece of new business is a resolution, and will you please read that resolution?
Resolution R-10-24-54, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a renewal agreement with the Public Entities Pool of Ohio, PEP, and Burnham and Flower Insurance Group for the provision of property, casualty, and liability insurance coverage for November 1st, 2024 to October 31st, 2025, with an annual premium of $142,398.22.
Mr. Schweitzer?
Evening. This is our liability and property insurance policy. We did see an increase about 10% this year. I've talked with our agent with the public entities pool, and it's all on the property side. It's not on the liability. It's all on the dwellings, equipment, vehicles. Just because those get damaged, it's cost more to repair those. So they're seeing that industry-wide. And then I know some of the other insurance companies with the hurricanes, which we're kind of sheltered up here, but he did point out that, Ohio had 34 tornadoes this year, which they had to cover some of the repairs. So it is an increase from last year, but being part of the pool, we do get a discount since we've been part of it for a while. So there's credits we receive, and throughout the year when we add some equipment, when we get new equipment or take it off, a lot of times we don't have an increase in the premium. They accept it until next year.
Any questions for Kevin or comments on this?
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve the resolution as written by Mr. Gorman, second by Ms. Kelly. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, let the record show that that resolution was unanimous also. And we'll move to the city manager's report.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Just a few items for each night. You will see in your packet, we did receive a communication from Miami Valley Communications Council, a notice that the local government's participating in the electrical aggregation program, that the supplier Energy Harbor was bought by Dynegy. The MVCC aggregation program will continue uninterrupted, at the same rate, and the residents won't see any difference in that. They'll only see a difference in billing. Dynegy will be sending out notices letting everyone know that they have changed from Energy Harbor to Dynegy, but there is no change in service. The rate is staying the same. Nothing changes except for whose name is on the bill. We are working with the resident about the Westbrook Park entrance. The city discovered that the walking entrance from Flower to Westbrook Park is on private property with no easement. We have contacted the property owner. They're very agreeable to donating that piece of property with the path to the city of Clayton. We're working with them, and we will bring the surveys and the right-of-way dedication to you at a later council meeting. We had our last active transportation plan steering committee this evening here in council chambers. It went very well. We will be having a couple of other pop-up community events where people can come in and talk about the active transportation plan and what they want to see. And then in January, we'll be bringing that to council for acceptance. We also have the City of Clayton Thoroughfare Plan. It was completed. And if you'll recall, we had a work session back in January about the progress. I would like to request a work session for our next council meeting, Thursday, November 7th, at 6:30 PM to have Kleiningers come in to go over the Thoroughfare Plan with council. Is that agreeable?
Yep.
Okay, so we'll get that scheduled. And then I would also like to request that we schedule a budget, excuse me, budget work session for November 21st at 6:30 PM to discuss the 2025 budget. We actually started budget reviews today. Staff submitted everything last week, and then I started sitting down with staff and Kevin, going over budgets. So if that's agreeable, we'll also schedule that work session for the 21st.
That's fine.
Okay. Excuse me. And then for Planning Commission, staff will be bringing proposed language to Planning Commission at their October 28th meeting for adult use cannabis, and then section 1141.1 penalties. And the earliest that topic will be seen before council will be the November 21st meeting. Just as an FYI, Warner Village, Schneck Development has submitted preliminary plans for Warner Village to the city by the October 10th Planning Commission staff review deadline. This deadline allows staff to review and submit comments back to the property owner prior to their application submission deadline of November 7th for the November 25th Planning Commission meeting. And if the project moves out of Planning Commission with a recommendation at that November 25th meeting, the earliest it will be before council will be December 19th. So it's a nice way to kick off the holiday season with a nice long meeting. And just as an FYI, also Arbor Homes purchased the land to the west of Hunter's Path, there by the water tower. They purchased that as well.
How big a piece of ground is that?
About 30 acres.
About how much?
30 acres.
30 acres.
We held our last Issue 6 informational meeting on Tuesday, October 15th. It is available on our website and our YouTube page if you want to go take a look at it, if you weren't able to attend. And that is all I have for you this evening, excuse me, unless you have questions for me.
In that Hunter's Path, all the lots are sold?
I think they have, what, 9, 10 maybe left? Not very many. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
The question about the 2023 financial health indicator report from the state auditor's office.
Yes.
The one item, number 9.
Mm-hmm.
Since that, I think that falls within line with the issue coming before the voters.
Yes.
In November. Essentially, we're not playing games, we're talking about the financial position.
We are not. It is showing that our general fund is declining. And if Kevin, you want to talk about that?
So the state auditor office, after we have our audit completed and financial statements are issued, they take the financial statements and they take the information in there and put it into, they have different criteria they analyze, and they put out this report each year. And this year is the first year. I can remember they have a green, yellow, red, and the red is our general fund revenues are not keeping up with the general fund expenses, so our general fund balance is declining. So, and that was the rest were all green, and I think one yellow. So, but it's that's why we're saying that's our general fund is our main fund, and it helps out the other funds, but we can't keep going at the rate we are for very long.
And like,
Report on go out on the internet.
We put it out there, didn't we, Barb? It's on the website.
It's on our
Yep.
website. And I think we also shared it to our social media page. And I
Yeah.
mean, if you'll recall, the past couple of years, that indicator has been yellow. It's not been green. They've shown the steady decline, excuse me, of the general fund.
Yeah, so we put that health indicator report out on, I think it's on the finance page with the budget, the financial statements, and the link to the Ohio checkbook.
And the two items that are on the report that are indicated in yellow would be impacted by the one that's impacted by showing
Yeah,
red.
they're in
So
correlation,
by
yes.
9, or turning back to a cautionary outlook might actually change the position of the outlook for the other two positions, which are cautionary.
Correct.
Any other questions or comments for Kevin on this? Okay, thank you, sir. Anything else at all for the city manager? Okay, moving on, we will go to visitors' comments, and I'm going to read all three names, and if you want to speak, you're welcome to come up. Sam?
Read 2 hours.
Sam Cox? No. Jeremy? I guess we'll,
You know it's gonna come up.
how about the birthday boy? State your name and address, sir.
Earl Harlenbert, 6420 Levine Court, Parks Director. I want to first say, if you haven't been to Harsh Gravel, you can see it from the road. It's blue. We like that. There's a lot of people to thank. We had 3 young ladies from the church on the way down came and worked. Our girls from the parks were down and worked, and Mr. Farmer was down, and Mr. Henning was down, and they worked. Mr. Farmer's back worked all the way to the end. We ran out of paint. Hard to believe, just on that building, we ran out of paint. Of course, we have other people down here too, also helped. But it is blue, and there's one other person in this crowd that we need to give a hand to, and that's Sam Cox and his son Dana. They did the blue paint. They sprayed it, and they did a wonderful job. I'm going to clap for you. They did a wonderful job, and it looks very, very good. If you have a chance, you don't need to drive down there. Just drive slow by and look at the blues. You can see it. But if you want me to paint the other things, you let me know if you need rain. I'll schedule a painting session, okay? And thank you all for as much you all done too. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, and thanks to everybody who did that work. Tell Dana also, Sam and Kenny and Ryan, thanks for going down. And thanks, Earl, for coordinating everything, so, yes. Okay, no one else signed up to speak, and no one else is here, so I guess no one else is coming up. So we'll go to council comments. We'll start with Mr. Farmer.
Good evening, all of you that attended. Thanks for coming. Again, I want to thank you, Sam and Dana, for the great job painting. Harsh Gravel Park looks really good now because of that. Thank you so much. It was mentioned the ATP open house will happen at some point. Just want to encourage everyone to come out and put in your 2 cents on what you like and don't like about it. I think the tool design working it is really anxious to get inputs, and we'll put that to good use. I'm trusting them to do that. So Halloween's coming up. Be sure you're safe out there when that's going on. And with early voting starting, I'd encourage you to go out and do that because you never know what might happen on Election Day. So that's all I've got. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Henning.
Also, wanted to say, Earl, we hope you had a great, happy birthday yesterday. Sam and Dana York, thank you. Ellen and all the people that brought their children also. I think the kids had less paint on them than I did. But it was nice to just see so many people. As Ryan said, Halloween.
Didn't ask Earl how old he was, though, Kenny.
That's the question I was told to never ask somebody. I'll just say he's very wise. Well, I hope you all have a safe Halloween to all the students and children that go out. Be safe, be cautious of traffic on the streets, and finally, we have additional early voting hours next week and the final week of early voting, the week of the 28th. If you so choose to go down to the Board of Elections at 451 West 3rd Street, They will be working long days the next 2 weeks and the weekend of October 26th and November 2nd and 3rd. If you want to vote on the weekend, if you're unable to go during the weekday, you can learn more at voteohio.gov, but I would encourage you all to get out. And I obviously have endorsed and supported issue 6. And as Councilmember Merkel said tonight, and Kevin, the the fiscal outlook of the city is very dependent on this. So very hopeful for it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Gorman?
So I would like to also caution everybody on Halloween evening, the 31st of October. The kids will be everywhere, and I know that our police will be out also, but looking after them, but please just be careful. The other thing I have to say is I received an email from our first city manager, Dave Rollins, whom some of you will remember, and Dave just took a new job at Santa Maria, California, which is a city of 120,000 people, which isn't bad coming from a city of 13.5 or whatever, 13.3. And Dave seems to be doing very well and very happy in his new positions out there, and everything's going well for him. And I think the city should be proud of his accomplishments also.
Well, good for him. I wish him the best of luck out there. Thank you, Mr. Gorman. Mr. Merkel?
Talk about Halloween coming up, and yes, everyone, be cautious about small children in the streets. Daylight savings time is coming up, be the first weekend in November, so be sure to set your clocks accordingly. Board of Elections is open for early voting. I actually made the trek downtown this afternoon to vote early, and because I managed to screw up my absentee ballot application. I will admit to that. It happens when you start getting older. I forgot to put my birth date on my application. Anyway, I went down and actually, went through the routine of voting early. And as Kenny has said, they accommodate. There's 61 ballot voting locations within their area downtown at the Board of Elections. They can get you in and get you out really quick. And the biggest problem is just trying to drive downtown and get through all the traffic lights. That's the biggest hassle. It's not the voting part. On top of that, please get out and vote. Your vote counts.
Thank you, sir. Tina?
Number one, yesterday, happy birthday to my father, Earl. And he's 80-something, so I won't give the exact age. And 2, Sam and Dana, thank you so much again. It looks amazing. I drive by Clayton Park every day. It looks so nice. I did get images, and we could probably share them, with Dana's face that was all blue at the end. Also, too, the thing we didn't mention about Halloween was our police officers. The police officers are always out, the police force is always out to ensure safety with kids, parents, and so on. Everything goes smooth when they're around. So give them a hand because they're always around. Other than that, have a good night.
Thank you. Mr. Bachman?
Evening, everyone. Really all I have, won't repeat everything here that was said earlier, but one of the greatest rights of American is our right to vote. A lot of people have fought and died for that over a couple centuries. So encourage everyone to go out and vote. That's all I have.
Thank you, sir. And my message is the same, short and sweet. We need to get out and vote. There's a lot of things hinge on this election cycle, whatever side you're on or whatever issue you back. My focus is on issue 6, and it's really vital to our city that we can get that passed. I think one of the things that kind of has been lost in the conversation is we've really been low. We're kind of trying to catch up at this point on the rate, and I think to me that makes it a little bit more palatable for our residents. So we're not overtaxing anyone. We're not overspending. But we do need more revenue to come into the city. So please vote yes on 6. So, other than that, I don't have anything else.
I'll move for adjournment.
Second.
Motion to adjourn by Mr. Gorman, second by Mr. Henning. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, we're adjourned.